But so many jobs are being lost every single day because of the coronavirus shutdown. Some people simply cannot afford to pay. Here's CBS 46's Rebecca Schramm with some important information for renters.
For some, it feels like a cruel April Fool's joke. In the midst of this coronavirus pandemic, they owe rent by the end of the day. Stephanie Murray of Lithonia lost her administrative job a couple of weeks ago. If she loses her apartment because she can't pay her rent,
we don't have a place to stay.
Renters across the country are growing more nervous by the day.
I'm feeling really scared.
So what do? Atlanta Legal Aid has put out a video explaining that the new Federal CARES Act stops some landlords from filing evictions through July 25th.
Landlords covered under this law cannot file for eviction if you do not pay your rent during this time and cannot charge you any fees for not paying your rent.
But that only applies to renters in public or Section 8 housing or landlords with federally backed loans. What about the majority of renters who have private landlords? Business analysts say now is not the time to hide.
You should let a landlord know if you owe rent and you can't make your rent. Most municipalities are really making it tough for landlords to charge you fees and certainly have banned evictions during this time.
DeKalb County has done just that, and in some other counties, the courts have put eviction proceedings on the back burner during this crisis. If you'd like information on renter assistance in your area, we've got a link in a story I've posted on our CBS 46 website. Rebecca Schramm, CBS 46 News.
Now, if you've lost your job and you're over the age of 65, starting today, you can apply for assistance paying your energy bill. And we've got that number right there at the bottom of your screen. It's 404-537-4300. This is a once-a-year program partially funded by the Public Service Commission. It's available for eligible seniors in all 159 Georgia counties. We're following another breaking news story right now. These are the newest numbers for you from Georgia as the coronavirus continues to spread. The Department of Health now reports more than 4,600 confirmed cases with 139 people who have died. Fulton County is the hardest hit county. It now has 624 cases and 19 deaths. Governor Kemp is set to address the state about the virus at a town hall today. It's at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We, of course, will bring you the very latest. Members of the National Guard, at the governor's request, have started their assignments in Georgia nursing homes. They're going to be helping facilities that have been affected by the virus. CBS 46's Daniel Wilkerson is outside the retreat at Canton in Cherokee County. It's a senior assisted living facility hit particularly hard. All right, before we get to Daniel, let's take a look right now at how things are shaping up on Wall Street. As you can see, the Dow taking another beating. It's down 3.36% right now, 736 points. We, of course, are going to be keeping a very close watch on the stock market for you. We had the worst month, the worst year so far in decades, just over the last several months or so in terms of the stock market. All right, what are we getting to now? We, of course, getting the latest on the coronavirus for you. A lot of information coming in. We are leading the coverage on this for you. We have hourly updates. Just download our powerful CBS 46 app and our CBS 46 Facebook page. We're going to take a break and we will be right back. We just mentioned to you that we have now more than 4,600 confirmed cases of coronavirus in our state, and the state is doing what it can to help curb the spread of the virus, including calling out the National Guard. The governor has assigned the National Guard to help in Georgia nursing homes. They'll be helping those facilities that have been hit especially hard. CBS 46's Daniel Wilkerson this noon is outside the Retreat at Canton in Cherokee County. It's a senior assisted living facility.
Governor Kemp sent out a tweet not long ago saying that he was proud of the work the National Guard was doing at a nursing home 3 hours south of Atlanta in Mitchell County. I checked with the Retreat here. They say they are not expecting the National Guard today, but say it could happen anytime this week. Here at the Retreat at Canton, 3 residents and a worker have tested positive for the virus. Governor Brian Kemp is sending 100 guards across the state to help facilities that house the elderly. Now, the governor is saying that teams of 4 to 5 guards will be assigned to centers with confirmed cases. The guards will train staff and even do a deep cleaning if needed. Families here saying those visiting in uniform can have a calming influence.
My dad was a fireman for 31 years, so he was in a uniform. So anytime she's ever had to go to the hospital, she reacts to people in those uniforms and she realizes who they are, that they're there to help.
Again, the National Guard could arrive to nursing homes here in Metro Atlanta this week. The moment that happens, of course, we'll have it on your CBS 46 mobile app. In Cherokee County, Daniel Wilkerson, CBS 46 News.
Also breaking at noon today, Sterile Genex, a plant that uses a cancer-causing gas to sterilize medical equipment, has obtained a restraining order against 2 Cobb County officials as it resumes operations this week in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak. Carolyn Ryan's been in front of this story. She's here with brand new details.
Yeah, this is the restraining order that a federal judge signed off on today. Let's take a closer look. This order prevents Nicholas Daw, and he's the county's fire marshal, and Kevin Gobble, the building and inspections manager. It prevents them from precluding Sterile Genex operations for 14 days. So that just basically means they can't interfere with the plant's operations. So that means Sterile Genex is now free to sterilize all medical equipment as opposed to only being allowed to sterilize PPE equipment like masks and gowns as Cobb County had originally signed off on. Now, Sterile Genex has been shut down completely since October after Cobb County determined the plant didn't have proper permits. Now, nearby residents were thrilled with that. They had been trying to fight to keep that plant closed all along. Now, in addition to the restraining order, Sterile Genex announced Monday that it is suing Cobb County over that ongoing permit dispute, proving they are determined to reopen fully without restriction. Now, all of this legal action being taken by Sterile Genex in the midst of a global pandemic, well, it has residents and state lawmakers accusing the company of using the crisis only as a way to reopen, not as a way to help in a time of need. We'll continue to follow it for you. At the live desk, I'm Carolyn Ryan.
Carolyn, thanks. And you this noon, just as Sterile Genex sues Cobb County to reopen fully, the EPA's Inspector General issues a 27-page alert that urgent action is needed to make sure residents living near ethylene oxide facilities are aware of the health and cancer risks associated with exposure to the gas. And that's the gas we were just talking about that Sterile Genex is accused of emitting. Our job over the last few months, of course, has been to help keep you informed on how the coronavirus is impacting your life each and every day. And just like all of you at home, we've taken steps to prevent the spread of the virus here at our station. But we were hit right here at home with one of our colleagues becoming sick. CBS 46's Tracy Hutchins talks with anchor Rick Folbaum as he recovers now at home.
Well, the coronavirus pandemic forcing all of us to either change our behavior or suspend.
The day started like any other.
White House officials
March 16th, and Rick Folbaum was anchoring the news.
The same rules apply to President Trump's staff.
I did not have any symptoms at all. I had a great morning I spent with my kids before coming into work.
And we have breaking late today.
And during the 6 o'clock news, I realized that there was something going on and that I probably needed to go home as soon as possible, which is exactly what I did.
Did you ever think it was coronavirus?
I couldn't help but think that maybe it was coronavirus, but I didn't know, of course. And I called my doctor, who has been great. And he said, why don't you go to sleep, just rest, and see how you feel in the morning. And so that's what I did. I went to sleep. And then the next day, I woke up feeling even worse. I have never felt the kind of fatigue that I experienced with coronavirus. It knocked me out. And so I really slept for most of the next 4 or 5 days until I got a phone call from the hospital and a doctor telling me that my test results had come back positive.
So what other symptoms were you feeling, Rick? Fatigue, what else?
I didn't have a sore throat. My ears were bothering me, and I had body aches. I had no appetite. I had no sense of smell. I had no sense of taste.
That day before, you had been in contact with your children. Did you worry that you may have passed the virus on to them?
Yes, that was a big concern, that I had unknowingly put my family at risk, put my colleagues at risk because I came to work on that day without any symptoms. I was very concerned about that.
During that week of recovery, Rick had time to think about how he contracted COVID-19. He suspects a trip to Vail, Colorado, just days before.
Apparently, where I traveled to became one of those sort of hotspots where a lot of people ended up contracting the virus. And if I can share my story, give my information, talk about how well I'm doing now and how well I'm recovering, that it might help somebody else down the line.
Tracy Hutchins, CBS 46 News.
And we are very happy to tell you that Rick has been cleared by medical professionals to come back to work, and you're going to see him anchoring the news later this afternoon. Well, today is Census Day. It's a day to promote participation in the 2020 census, but this year for each state, it also ensures communities get political